And welcome into this edition of ACAP Today for the week of April 11th, 2022. I'm Jason Parent with the Aroostook County Action Program. On this week's program, we're going to talk about ACAP's new Youth Homeless Demonstration Project and how, in partnership with our partners at Community Cares and Shaw House in the Bangor area, we're serving 5 counties in northern and eastern Maine. We're going to have a great conversation about that with 2 of the family coaches who are working directly on that program. Just began working on the program specifics not that long ago, and we're going to get a touch base with them in just a little bit. But before we do that, we go first to the news and information that you can use again for this, the week of the 11th of April 2020. And we begin in our news and information that you can use with this. Some news from the very top of the state of Maine, and that is the Top of Maine Trade Show is coming up on April 23rd and 24th up in Madawaska at the Multipurpose Building. And the reason why we're sharing this with you is we're very pleased to announce that ACAP will be in attendance at this, the largest trade show north of Bangor. Now, we're encouraging area residents to not only stop by our ACAP table to learn more about the available services, but we'll actually be doing on-the-spot registration and applications for our home energy assistance program and the emergency rental assistance program that's part of the COVID-19 federal pandemic response. Now, both of these programs are very critical at this point right now because obviously the cost of heating one's home has become exponentially more difficult over the last few months, as has the cost of electricity. Now, for individuals who are renters, and to apply for the rental assistance program and qualify economically, you can also choose to have your electric bill taken care of in that period of time that you're in the program as well. So we're going to have folks right on site being able to take your applications right there on the spot for both home energy assistance and rental assistance. And we encourage you to stop by our booth again on the 23rd and 24th of this month at the Multipurpose Center in Madawaska, where the Top of Maine Trade Show is being held. And we look forward to catching up with many of our friends up in the St. John Valley at this event. We move on now to one of those 2 programs that we will be offering as an application opportunity on site at the Top of Maine Trade Show, and that's the Home Energy Assistance Program. This is actually an ideal time to apply for the Home Energy Assistance Program. In addition to being present at the Top of Maine Trade Show in Madawaska, in the coming weeks, we're going to release some HEAP in your hometown areas, or we're going to be traveling to towns across Aroostook County to do walk-in appointments at local facilities in Aroostook County and throughout Aroostook County. As we prepare for that, as we prepare for the Top of Maine Trade Show, but as we also invite you to give us a call at 768-3053 if you'd like to schedule an appointment to either do it over the phone or in a location, an ACAP location nearest you. We are sharing with you the income levels. So these are over a 1 month, a 3 month, and 12-month period. You don't have to meet the threshold of all 3 of those, just the one that is the most convenient or the one that helps get you the assistance. So for example, if you've had a change in your household income over the last month alone, and it falls under the size that you see there by household size under the 1 month column, we can help you qualify for the Home Energy Assistance Program. So we will do just a 1 month look back in that particular case. But we encourage you to check out this information. It's also available on the ACAP website. And we want to help more people apply for the Home Energy Assistance Program at this time. We estimate that between 1,500 and 2,500 Aroostook County households qualify for the Home Energy Assistance Program, but never apply. And we'd like to see that change this season. Now, it's again a great time to apply because any benefit that you receive will stay on your fuel vendor account for up to 18 months, which will get you started obviously next season if your oil tank is full as we head out of this season. And also, as we spoke about in that first segment as it related to Top of Maine Trade Show, the Emergency Rental Assistance Program can cover the cost of things like obviously your rent, but electricity, water, sewer, trash removal, heat, and internet. We are encouraging folks to apply, especially seniors living on fixed incomes at this point who are renting, who have seen that exponential increase in electricity, and then of course the same type of increase with fuel oil. It takes about 4 to 8 weeks to issue payments, so please be patient with us, but you can go to mainrentrelief.com or give us a call at 764-3721 and we'll help you with the application over the phone, or again, come to the Top of Maine Trade Show in Madawaska and we can do that on the spot with you right there. We have been sharing with you over the last couple of weeks that the Homeowner Assistance Fund is soon to come to Maine. The targeted launch date, the tentative targeted launch date at this point is May 2nd, so just a few short weeks away. This will provide assistance to homeowners. We are cautioning folks, though, that the program that can provide up to $25,000 per eligible household and is funded through the U.S. Department of Treasury and administered by the Maine Bureau of Consumer Credit Protection. Our CAP agency will have a capacity to be able to assist, but we're not going to be as engaged. We're not being contracted to be as involved as we are with the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. So our ability to be of a great deal of assistance in terms of your application will be more limited with this program than it is with ERA. That said, it's also going to be more difficult to access this program in terms of what you need to do to prepare for it. We encourage you to visit the Maine Bureau of Consumer Credit Protection website for consistent updates on this program so that you can learn more about it, as we will learn more about it as it begins to launch, hopefully at the beginning of May, as we indicated. We also want to share with you that our Head Start and Early Head Start programs are registering now for new applicants. Obviously, Head Start program, new applicants would begin in the fall. Early Head Start registration is sort of an ongoing cycle. This is for children birth through age 5. That's the Early Head Start program. Head Start, traditional Head Start, will between 3, 4, and 5-year-olds will be eligible for that program. Now, we do have on-site Head Start services available in Caribou, Dyer Brook, Fort Kent, in Holton, as well as Presque Isle. New this year, we will be having, starting in the fall, Head Start program availability in the towns of Limestone and the community school there, and in the school administrative district number 24 up in Van Buren. We're pleased to be adding those two programs into the ACAP Head Start fold this year and look forward to serving more families in those two communities as well. For more information or to begin an application over the phone, call 554-4176, or to complete an application on the Early Care and Education page of the ACAP website, go to acap-me.org. COVID-19 vaccinations continue across the state of Maine. We're pleased to announce that COVID-19 booster doses, a second booster for age 50 and older, and for some immunocompromised individuals are now eligible for that second booster shot as long as it's at least 4 months after your initial booster. We encourage you to check out the website here on the screen, or give us a call at 764-3721 if you're having difficulty finding where you can maybe access one of those appointments. Again, we can help you to access that over the phone and find an appointment nearest you. There are also free at-home COVID tests that continue to be available. There's 2 different resources for this. There's the covidtest.gov, which did open up last month, a second set of those 4 tests that can be shipped directly to you. So if you had previously gotten one set, there's a second set available to your address now if you haven't already registered for that. There's also the specific to Maine households and specific to some communities registration opportunity for an additional kit that has 5 tests in it. That's accesscovidtest.org, the website you want to go to for that site. In continuing in our COVID-19 community news, there's the community supports that we continue to offer for individuals who are asked to isolate or quarantine as the result of a COVID-19 diagnosis. We can provide grocery and meal delivery to your household and shelter and assistance to stay in home at the time of an isolate or quarantine request. You can go to the community care for social support section of the COVID-19 website at Maine CDC's website at dhhs.gov, or you can also call us here at ACAP at 764-3721, and we can help connect you with these services. Project Teach is one that we've also been talking about for the last few weeks now. It stands for Transportation, Education, Access, Care, and Heat and Housing. It is a program available through the generosity of the Maine Cancer Foundation, administered locally by ACAP. And it's inviting individuals who have a cancer diagnosis, who are facing challenges attending oncology appointments due to things like transportation, lodging costs, and other logistics, that we're able to provide that assistance. Andrea White is the local coordinator for this program, and she's accessible through her email address, awhite@acap-me.org, or by calling her direct line at 554-4150. If you are undergoing cancer treatment at this time, we certainly encourage you to reach out to Andrea and access this available resource. We also are talking about our oral health services that are available across Aroostook County to youth, specifically in the region. Our own dental hygienist, Lucy Morin of the St. John Valley, is available to serve children countywide. Maine Care participants receive these services for free that include things like oral health screenings, cleaning, varnish, and molar sealants. If you are not a Maine Care card holder, there is a $42 private pay cost, but payment assistance is available and no one will be turned away from services. So if you are in need of oral health services in this regard and your child is up to age 18, we certainly encourage you to reach out to us to get connected with this service. That said, we will also help connect you with a permanent dental home, especially if additional interventions are required of the dental health nature. And finally, in this part of the newscast of ACAP today, we encourage you, if you are in need of any assistance at this time, to contact us, to reach out to us. We have a team of navigators who can be reached by calling 764-3721, and they are located across Aroostook County, so there might be one closer to you than certainly Presque Isle. And we want to just offer this service, especially for folks who don't quite know what resources and services are available or where to turn to, as they may be facing a hardship for the first time and need to reach out for help. Our navigators are a great place to start, and we encourage you to reach out to them. And that's this week's news and information that you can use. I'm pleased now to turn to our guests on this week's edition of ACAP Today. They are two family coaches working on ACAP's brand new program, a Youth Homeless Demonstration Program. We talked about this and the award that we received along with our partners, Community Cares and Shaw House out of the Bangor area a little over a year ago at this time, but now the program is finally operational and we are hitting the ground running. And so I want to say welcome, a very special welcome to Amber Michaud. Welcome to ACAP Today. And also to Morgan Seeley. Morgan works in Washington County, as ACAP is responsible for oversight and the coordination of this program in both Aroostook and Washington County. Morgan's counterpart here in Presque Isle, Amber Michaud, works out of Central Aroostook. And then they have a colleague also who works out of the St. John Valley, who I'm sure they'll talk about a little bit more in the interview. But I also want to say welcome to you, Morgan. Thank you for joining us remotely from Washington County.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So Amber, why don't I begin with you? You've been working with this program and helping to get it off the ground. Tell me about and help our viewers understand, what is the Youth Homeless Demonstration Program?
So Youth Homeless Demonstration Program, or YHDP, is here to help those youth here in Aroostook County that are struggling with homelessness. This could be, they're staying in a friend's house, or they're here up the road at HSA at the Homeless Services of Aroostook, getting services as well. It's designed to kind of help youth that might not have, Maine Care health insurance, those services set up already so that we can come in, we can step in, we can be that family coach or case manager to assist them with getting the services they need, but also helping them get housing, which is a very big roadblock to a lot of people here in Aroostook County at this time. And our program is here to help those youth get into homes and kind of maintain housing, and also just kind of be able to be a support system until they are able to be fully on their own after, a sense of crisis, if they are homeless because of, either differences in family, because of their orientation or beliefs, or a death of a parent. Those are very hard things. They get lost in the cracks of the system. So that's kind of what we are here for. We're here for the extra step, that extra support, to connect them with resources around the county and our areas, and just kind of provide a safe place for our youth here that are experiencing homelessness in the county.
Great. Now, Morgan, talk to me a little bit about the overall challenge. I don't know that we oftentimes see many homeless youth in our area, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't youth experiencing homelessness in both Aroostook and Washington County, which is your direct service area. So talk about the need and the challenge out there for youth who are experiencing homelessness.
In Washington County, we don't have a homeless shelter. We have absolutely no place for individuals to go if they are experiencing homelessness. We have a adult crisis unit and a youth crisis unit, all of which are very short-term stay. And most times, if you are experiencing homelessness, it's very hard to get into that service because of the transition for aftercare. So what we typically are seeing is individuals, what we call couch surfing, staying at a friend's house, staying in the back of a car. In the nicer weather, people are staying in tents out by the lake. These are people that are still enrolled in school, are still going to school, still working. The lack of housing here in Washington County is huge. We have limited resources, we have limited rents. And the rents that we do have are above the average pay. So we're looking at, $1,100 to $1,300 a month for rent. And it really puts people in a position where they have to choose. And unfortunately, there are times that people are choosing to, having to choose to stay in their car or staying at a friend's house. And our service is hopefully really going to help kind of break that barrier down and help provide some resources for these individuals.
Absolutely. Critical need. Amber, talk to me about the work that you have been doing, and in the early stages here, you've been preparing for a number of weeks now to get this program off the ground. What has that work been like, and what has the initial work of actually getting into the community and making the work that that Morgan spoke about in Washington County happen in Aroostook County?
So currently right now, we've got a few individuals in our program. A lot of them have trickled in from the shelter. That's right up the road from Edgemont Drive where we are here. And a lot of our youth that we've been working with, they do fall above the age of 18, which is still in our age range, which was really helpful for us because we are able to do a lot more service-wise with them. Right now, what I've been doing is kind of just going through the process of getting their assessments done, getting their needs, knowing, their strengths and needs, where they would like to be placed, helping them with job opportunities, kind of getting, and then building that relationship and trust as well with the few youth we do have in here right now. I've done a couple of coordination with some landlords around, because that's another piece of our program is we will be helping the youth get those placements. And there sometimes is that stereotype about young people that they might not have those references coming into getting a rental. And that's kind of, again, where we kind of stand, as we're here to kind of vouch for these youth that are struggling to find those apartments and kind of be that mediator in between landlords. So I have talked to a few landlords around the Presque Isle area, because that's where I am located right here in central Aroostook County, that I've kind of just explained a little bit about our program on how it's going to work, and kind of just building those relationships with landlords as well. A part of what we hope to be going out and doing more of is kind of just informing more of the county and kind of businesses, Hope and Justice Project, the few counseling areas we have around here, informing them about our services so that if they have clients or they've encountered them, even in their own personal time, they can, refer them to us and bring them wherever they are, if they're in the Valley, Holton, or in Washington County, and just kind of getting the word out there that we are here. We are here to help, and we, this is what we're here for. We all have that passion. I know my passion's here working with youth, and it just happens to be that's where I am right now. So I've done quite a bit of work right now lately with a few individuals that they're struggling, but we have we've overcome a lot of those boundaries, and we're able to help them get to where they want to see their future.
So Morgan, you noted earlier that there is not a homeless shelter in Washington County, and so finding and engaging with youth that are experiencing homelessness can at times be a challenge. Talk us through what a typical day looks like in your schedule and how you are able to connect with and access youth who are experiencing homelessness who may not be as evident to members of their community as they become to you.
So really started with some outreach. So I have started developing relationships with social workers and liaisons through the schools. I was not aware of the significance of the population until I started this job. Week one, we had 4 calls just to say we have these individuals that need some assistance. So it is meeting with the schools. It is trying to make sure that they're still engaging in education, even if it's, can you stay at your friend's house for another night until we can work on another plan for you? Developing relationships with the police department so that if they are engaging with individuals, they can give us a call and maybe we can help break down that barrier. It's engaging with AMHC and talking, how can we help utilize your ACSU so that maybe someone isn't sleeping outside in the middle of winter? Is it ideal? Absolutely not. But it's what we have and what we need to work with at this time. It's working with landlords. So we're out meeting with landlords, developing our program, asking them if they would engage in this program. In Washington County, we're looking at developing a 2-bedroom transitional unit for youth. That's going to be very impactful because, again, we don't have a shelter. We don't have a YMCA where people can go, even warming center. We don't have that in Washington County. If we can get the transitional unit, it is a stepping stone for individuals until we can find them long-term, safe and stable housing. So a lot of the work is going in to try to educate the public, educate other providers, work on a plan, work together, and see if we can come up with a plan so that these individuals have their basic needs met. Because if their basic needs are not met, they cannot achieve anything higher than that. And hopefully with the work that we're doing, we're going to be able to put some services in place for them.
That's great. Now, Amber, that work is being replicated in southern, central, and northern Aroostook County as well. Talk about the team that's assembled, that's working countywide, and how they're sort of reflecting the differences of the regions of the people that they're serving, like Morgan is in Washington County, in terms of finding the local community resources to connect with and making things work in ways that make sense for the communities where the homeless youth are living.
So we have 4 members of our YHDP team. Morgan, again, she's here with us in Washington County. I'm here in central and southern Aroostook. And Sarah Sullivan, she is our other Valley family coach. She's working in the Valley area with the same kind of a more rural population, but she's seen the same amount, if not more, come through for her as well. And then we have Nate Voisin. He is here in the central area with me, but he will both kind of be traveling in both areas as soon as we kind of get more into kind of our canvassing, which will be going out and looking for where our youth that are homeless are kind of hanging out, where they kind of congregate more, whether it's a rec center. Again, we don't have YMCAs up here, but just areas where like kids are going to be more frequently, library, rec centers, places like that. And I think we have a great team here. We've all kind of really connected on a pretty good working level, and we've kind of built a very a good relationship work-wise for the YHDP program.
Now, Morgan, we talked a lot about some of the initial crisis intervention work that you do in terms of helping to secure housing and if there are behavioral health or other challenges. But is the work that you and Amber and Nate and Sarah doing across Aroostook and Washington County also helping to sort of, once you've sort of done the initial triage, if you will, around the situation that is most prevalent, which is the homelessness, are you working with the youth, connecting them with programs and services that sort of help to ensure the success and the continued stability and hopefully thriving of these youth?
Absolutely. Part of our assessment is to look at continuing education, looking at employment, looking at even independent living skills. So for here in Washington County, and I'm sure it's in Aroostook County as well, Voc Rehab is an amazing resource. They'll help engage people in education that helps them with employment, It'll help with transportation. Eastern Maine Development Corporation will help them as well. You know, in order for someone to be successful, if they are struggling with a mental health diagnosis and or a substance misuse diagnosis, that also needs to be addressed. And there's services here that we can connect them to. So it's kind of a wraparound approach. If you don't address all of the needs, the outcome is not going to be as successful, and they're not going to be as successful as they want to be. So it's really just partnering with the local resources so that we can meet every need that they may have.
And Amber, I know that that's true here in Aroostook County as well, and a lot of that's happening right within or intra-agency here at ACAP with referrals to other programs and connecting with community partners as well.
Yes, we've connected with quite a few of our youth with workforce that we have here. I do have actually 3 that are currently working with them. And it's very good in being able to have that interagency coordination, being able to, you know, look and see how far they're going and where their plans are, and be able just to kind of be a partner, I guess. We've also been able to, and we'll be working with some other agencies around and with their programs as well, so that we can, you know, better assist the county and the youth that are here to serve them, and just kind of all be one big coordination station for our youth that we're going to be serving here.
We've been talking a lot about Aroostook and Washington counties, Morgan, but this program really covers 5 counties across northern and eastern Maine. Talk about the partnership and the work that's happening with community care and who operate the Shaw House in Bangor, and how those connections, linkages, and the training opportunities that have come with that have helped formulate this work across the 5 counties.
Absolutely. Shaw House is kind of the leader. They are directing us or engaging us in a manner in which that they foresee the program developing. They've been in from the ground up. You know, they give us their trainings. They have a mental health provider that will help get us to an understanding of what the population looks like, what we should be looking for, what should we be doing, how we should be engaging in this with this community. We have statewide meetings where we get to see how other people throughout the state are doing the same job that we are. We can pick up tips from how they're doing it, and vice versa. They can learn from us. I think CHNCS here in Washington County serves the adult population. It's another great resource that we can kind of collaborate and learn from each other. So I think that all of that has been very productive for us to start our position.
Great. So Amber, what's next? Where does Youth Homeless Demonstration Project go from here? The work continues, more youth come on board. Just sort of look a little bit ahead to the future of what this program looks like in a couple months.
So right now we are developing our street outreach plan, in which we will be continuing just kind of voicing and getting it out there, who we are, what we do, and kind of trying to get those referrals in, whether it's speaking with a DHS worker or schools, you know, the police stations, just going out, continuing to get the word out there. And then canvassing. I think it's going to be a little interesting here in Aroostook County, because we are very small, rural, spread out towns and cities, but it doesn't mean that they're still not there. You know, there might be just certain places, again, like finding those places that kids hang out, you know, even listening or hearing other youth that come in here and they say, I know I've had some that are like, you know, my buddy's in the same situation, can he come in and get help? So it's just kind of things like that, being able to be like, yes, of course, like, please spread the word through your mouths. I know this individual, I gave him some of my cards and I was like, send them, like, let your friends see them, and send them here, bring them in with you, a whole group of you. Like, we've got people here that can help. So I think it's just kind of continuing to get our feet off the ground. We are up and running, but we're still new, we're still babies. But I think in a few months, we look to have, you know, pretty good clientele. And then just continuing to be in these youth's lives and help them, you guide them through things they might not have with, family support or, other peer supports. We can be that professional support. That's, if you need that help with that budgeting or trying to keep your house clean, things like that, we're more than able to be there to continue those life skills with them, as well as getting them connected with, if schooling, counseling, any kind of like management other outside of our realm. So I think it's in the next couple of months, we're, hopefully get that clientele building and being able to just continue to serve our youth, get our name out there, and just really hit the ground running continuously.
Morgan, is the way forward in Washington County similar to what Amber described for Aroostook County?
Yes, absolutely. We're going to mimic exactly what Aroostook County is doing.
Great. Okay, so last question for the both of you. What have we not talked about the Youth Homeless Demonstration Project that you really wanted to make sure folks watching this broadcast knew about the program? I'll begin with you, Amber.
Oh, geez. So mostly just kind of, kind of what Morgan will be doing down in Washington County, that we will have that transitional youth unit for those youth that, housing them there if needed, since they do not have that shelter area. Sorry, Jason, I'm not sure what else to speak about. I think we've carried along a pretty good conversation about, YHDP and what it looks like for the future. Yeah.
No, it's been a great conversation. I just wanted to make sure that if there's anything else, I'll do the same with you, Morgan. Anything that we've sort of left on the cutting room floor that we want to make sure gets out there.
I would just say, excuse me, if someone is watching this, if you have questions, reach out. If you have a need, reach out. If we don't have the answer, we will work to try to find the answer or the resource for you. And we're here to assist in any way that we can.
Absolutely. So, and that would, I'm assuming, stand true if folks are aware of youth who are experiencing homelessness, whether it be couch surfing or as we head into the warmer months, living in a tent outdoors, as you talked about. Those folks should really call us and let us know and help us connect with them if we possibly can, correct?
Yes.
Good nods on that. All right. Well, I want to thank you both for joining me to talk about the Youth Homeless Demonstration Project. I think that it's already proving to be successful in terms of meeting an unmet need, a previously unmet need in our communities. And I think it's opened my eyes, and I think many people who are watching this broadcast eyes, to realize that youth homelessness is a pervasive issue in rural counties like Aroostook and Washington County that the two of you are serving. And we all need to work together to find a community solution for that problem. And this is certainly among the tools now in our tool belt to do that. So thank you both, Morgan and Amber, for joining me on this week's edition of ACAP Today. Before we leave all of you, though, we just want to let you know about if you would like to join the team, if you would like to be part of Morgan and Amber's fine team, whether it's in the Youth Homeless Demonstration Project. We currently don't have any openings in that area, but we have a number of other openings that I've shared here on the screen that range from, well, a lot of them in central Aroostook, but we have a position in Fort Kent as well as a bus driver position in Dyer Brook. Not any positions right now to join Morgan in Washington County. We appreciate her for being our lone warrior out there in Washington County. But if you think you have what it takes to fill any of these roles or want to just keep checking out what positions we do have available, head over to acap-me.org to check those out. And we encourage applications, of course, from anyone and everyone. And before we leave you all again today, as we do at each point in this broadcast, we leave you with our snapshot of the week. And as we've been celebrating our 50th anniversary, this is a throwback snapshot of the week. This goes back in the time machine to 1981. In the relatively early days of the weatherization program and home repair programs. This is some home repair and weatherization work that's being done on a home by one of our former ACAP team members then at the time, obviously working to help keep Aroostook County families safe and warm in their homes through the cold winter months. So we thank our weatherization team over the decades, over the last 5 decades, that have served us here so well in Aroostook County and have made such a difference for so many homeowners. That's our throwback snapshot of the week. And that's this week's edition of ACAP Today. We'll be back next week with another edition, and we'll see you then. Have a great week, everyone.